Good morning, friends. This is Miss Lands, and I want to talk to you today about something called Read to Self. So, when you come back to your third grade classroom here at Owens Crossroads, your teachers will probably have you do something every day called Read to Self. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about what Read to Self is today, and I want you to practice it today on your own at your house. So, Read to Self is just what it sounds like. It's reading to yourself. And like I said, you'll be doing this every day in your third grade classroom when you come back to school. And I really want you to start doing it every day when you're learning at home. What Read to Self is, we're going to go through this whole paper and I'm going to tell you what Read to Self is and how to read to yourself. Because you might be thinking, Miss Lands, I already know how to read to myself. But we're going to go over some things that are going to help you not get distracted when you're reading to yourself. And the goal of this is for you to build stamina. And what that means is you may not know how to read to yourself without getting distracted for a very long time right now. But today, I want you to start out reading to yourself for a very short amount of time. And we're going to build up your stamina. You're going to get used to reading to yourself. And hopefully, in a few weeks, you will be used to reading to yourself for a whole 30 minutes, all right? So when we read to ourselves, first thing we need to do is pick a book, right? If we don't have a book, then we can't read. So when you are picking a book, it can be a virtual book from the Epic Library or from Mayan, okay? Or it can be a book that you have at your house, a library book. But whatever book you pick, you need to make sure that it's a book that is going to take you at least 5 minutes to read, okay? Because when you read to yourself, you need to be reading the entire time. So that book needs to be long enough to keep you busy that entire time you're reading to yourself, okay? The next thing you need to do after you pick a book is you need to find a comfy spot and you need to stay there, okay? If I am reading to myself, if I have picked a book to read to myself, for example, if I picked Molly Lou Mellon to read to myself, I'm going to go find a spot in my house that's comfy and I'm going to stay there. That might be my couch, that might be my bed, that might be a seat on the floor, okay? But you need to find a comfy spot and you need to stay there. Your comfy spot needs to be a place that is free of distraction. So, if your little brother or your little sister is in the living room playing with toys, should you go sit on the living room floor and try to read to yourself? No, chances are that your little brother or your little sister is going to distract you. So reading to yourself in a place where you could get distracted is not a good idea. You need to pick a quiet spot that is away from other people, that's away from your pet, okay? You need to be away from anything that's going to distract you. When you read to yourself, your eyes are on the book. You have no distractions. So, this is what it looks like to read to yourself. My eyes are on the book right now. I am reading Molly Lou Mellon. I'm looking at the pictures, and I'm reading in my head. I'm reading to myself, right? I'm not distracted. I'm not talking to somebody while I read my book, right? I'm not talking to a little brother or sister. I'm not playing with toys while I read my book. I am focused on my book, and I'm not focused on anything else. And that's how you should be when you read to yourself at home. You need to read quietly, you need to look at the pictures, and you need to be in a quiet spot where you are free of distraction. So, today, here's what I want you to do, third graders. I want you to find a spot in your house that is quiet, where nobody is, that you can read without being disturbed, and I want you to try to read for 5 whole minutes, okay? 5 minutes. I want you to set a timer, I want you to pick a book, and I want you to read for 5 minutes, okay? Now, once you get in your quiet spot, You can't pick a new spot, all right? If I pick a spot to read in and I get up and move to another spot, and then I get up and move to another spot, like if I start on the couch and then I think, well, I'll go read in my bed, and then I get to my bed and I think, no, I don't want to read here anymore, so I go read in the floor. That's not okay. If I'm doing that, I'm not spending my 5 minutes reading. I'm spending my 5 minutes getting up and walking around to new spots, right? And that's not what I want you to do. I want you to be reading quietly for 5 whole minutes, all right? And after you do that, I'm going to put a few questions on School's PLP, and I want you to be honest with me and tell me how you did, okay? Was it easy for you to read for 5 whole minutes to yourself, or was it kind of hard? I want you to let me know. But today, your assignment is to read to yourself 5 whole minutes. Set a timer, find a book, and find a quiet spot, okay? Have a good day.